Hey, my lovelies. Welcome to my channel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Daily Vibration. So, if you are new to the channel, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. My name is Kamoy, and we are doing the Daily Vibration for June 30th, 2021. Now, keep in mind that energy is fluid. So, whenever you click on this video or this episode, if the message resonates and vibrates, my love, you want to go ahead and take what you need, and you want to leave what you don't, and you want to shelf what you don't understand in case you need to circle on back to it. Okay, so we are currently at day number 94 on our level up journey. We only have 6 more days left to go, and we are just at 94% of our journey. We only got 6 more days left, so we have been committed and consistent for 94 days. So you need to give yourself a pat on the back for that. Now, if you are just tuning in and you want to start over from the beginning, you can find this episode on my podcast or on my YouTube channel, okay? And then you can follow the snippets on Instagram also. Now, let's just start off by saying, okay, my lovelies, that we have the arrow of the planner in the date today. So we have the number 3 that's operating on the mental plane. We got double twos, okay, which is definitely sensitive energy, okay, super sensitive energy. Not hypersensitive, but still super sensitive energy. And that's operating on the soul plane. And then we also have the number 1 operating on the physical plane, right? Now, with the arrow of the planet, what you can find is that this is really where you begin to tap into all 3 aspects or all 3 realms, right? So mind, body, soul connection here, right? This is where you can find inspiration and ideas flowing. This is where you can tap into love and order and just synchronicity, understanding how you need to move and what you need to do to execute and get things done. But this energy can also make you feel not interested if it's not your plan, right? So if it's not your plan, you can be kind of laid back and lazy and really not want to do much, not really pay attention to the details much. Now, this energy can also make people gullible, and it can also make people take things for granted, okay? So you want to be able to make sure you're tapping into the highest vibration of love today with this energy, so you can be aware of your feelings and the ideas that are flowing through you today, as well as the habits that you're moving with throughout the day, okay? So that's going to be important as you're moving throughout the day. So ruling number of the day is the number 5. And the number 5 is heart chakra energy. All right. But we're also talking about the number of change. Okay. And sometimes change is not something everyone easily adjusts to. Okay, so you want to be mindful of that. All right, so we still have the moon in Pisces up until about 9:21 p.m. Eastern Standard Time where I am. All right, so what you can find is that the day may start off with a little bit more emotional energy, and by the end of the day you can find also that people are becoming more confident in who they are, or maybe even a little passive aggressive, because we do have passive energy, or the passive arrow showing up in the date today too. So you can find people tapping into that passive energy towards the end of the day or towards the night, and may want to be a little bit argumentative, or in their feelings, and then want to fight about it, or maybe even want to talk about it, right? So you may find that they want to circle on back and really want to talk about things and deal with things as the end of the day. And it may not be on some let's talk about it peaceful shit. It may be on some very aggressive energy towards the end of the day. So if you feel that energy, what I will say to you is to be mindful of it. You want to be mindful of that energy, so you're not stepping into fuck fight energy to end your day like that. Okay, so because when the moon enters Aries, it's going to be about 6:30 on the like in California and LA and all of those places. So you're still 3 hours behind, and you want to just know that the end of your day can transit a little different compared to some people. Okay, all right. So you want to be mindful of that. Now, I also want to just say this before we begin to, we are in energy right now where you really, if you are paying attention to who you are If you're paying attention to what you have to offer to yourself and what you have to offer to the world, but first it starts with self, right? Not so much looking externally, because we're in Cancer season, so we're dealing with the inner world energy. We're dealing with you being able to nurture your inner world. This is a house of parents. This is a home life, okay? So this is also where you nurture your inner world, okay? This is a house of emotions also and feelings, okay? So now, I tell you guys all of the time that you're not just responsible for mastering your sun sign, aka the month that you were born. You are also responsible for mastering all 12 aspects of the zodiac wheel, because all 12 aspects of the zodiac wheel are a representation of aspects of yourself or cycles that you go through within your lifetime, okay? So just like you have spring, summer, fall, and winter, you also have within that energy, you also have action, you also have emotions, you also have being practical and physical manifestation, and you also have your thinking aspect, right? So you can still find those aspects of the energy within the 4 seasons, all right? So everything is connected. Okay, so you are not just responsible for mastering your sun sign. You got to master the whole wheel, all 12 signs or aspects of your psyche. Okay, different archetypes. So we study the archetypal energy here on this channel. Right now, when you hear me reference the water energy, I am going to be referencing your emotions, and that energy is going to be for the signs of Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. If you are not a Cancer, a Scorpio, or a Pisces, that is okay. In the tarot messages, you're going to apply that to your emotions. This is the feeling realm, okay? Now, when you hear me talk about the fire energy, that is going to be Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. But if you're not an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius, you can apply this to areas in your life where you have to take action. This is movement, and then being able to trust your intuition and your feelings with that action, All right, so when you hear me talk about the earth energy, I am referring to Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. But if you were not a Taurus, a Capricorn, or a Virgo, you're going to apply the earth energy to your practical doing and the physical realm, manifestation, once you can see it in the 3D realm, okay? Now, when you hear me talk about the air energy, we are going to be referencing Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. But if you are not a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius, you're going to apply the air energy to your thinking. This is your spiritual and your mental thinking, the mind loops, the things that you replay in your mind, okay? Now, so you may find that you have to tap into each of the messages today from, the different archetypes just to move throughout your day at different times throughout the day. Or you may find that one particular element speaks to you today, right? So wherever you feel the message resonates, you want to go ahead and you want to take that, okay? So, one of the things that we talk about here on this channel is you not just being able to allow yourself to be an emotional puppet. It's really about you knowing thyself and then to thy own self be true, right? So not really beating up on yourself or other people for any experiences, but allowing yourself to move through the day with ease and flow, right? Now, self-reliance, I think, is going to be the order of the day today when you're moving throughout the energy. You have the planet in the day-to-day. So with the planet energy, that's really about taking control, right? How do you want things to transpire in your life? How do you feel about this particular situation? How do you want to deal with this situation? Now, keeping in mind that, you only feel the need to sacrifice when you're not tapping into your choices and your decisions that you can't make, right? Because if you've made a decision to, let's say, go back to school, right? With that decision, there are going to be some things that you're going to have to put in order. There may be some things that you're going to have to give up. There may be some things that you're going to have to let go. Your time may be a little bit more limited. If you've decided that you want to, maybe detox, that means that you may have to give up sugar. There may be some things that you have to give up, right? But once you've made a decision, there may be some type of action that's required, whether that action is mental, physical, or emotional, right? So when you begin to look at it like that, you can really see that all of these elements kind of speak to each other. Okay? So today, when we're looking at emotionally, what you need to pay attention to is you have the one ring circuits popping up. Right now, this is card number 15, and when you reduce 15 down to a single digit, you get the number 6. So that's creative or destructive power, your willpower. When the one ring circus pops up in this reading or in your reading, it really talks about you being able to be self-reliant. Okay, you being able to know that you are more than capable and competent of executing and finishing anything that you put your mind or heart to. All right. So emotionally today, you need to tap into the part of you where you are self-reliant and you're not looking outside of yourself to get that support, to get that comfort, to get that love, to get that acknowledgement, to get maybe, I want to say, the go ahead or the green light to do something that you really want to do for yourself. Okay, so pay attention as you move throughout the day emotionally to be checking into yourself and making sure that emotionally you're relying on yourself today by paying attention to how you feel about a thing. Okay, and maybe paying attention to how you react, to things today is going to be important too, emotionally. Okay, so now when you're dealing with the fire energy today, or the fire element today, which is all about taking action, right? When you're dealing with that energy today, okay, what you're gonna find is that you're going through like a metamorphosis, because you have metamorphosis popping up within your energy today. So you're gonna find that you're going through a metamorphosis, right? This is transformation. This is you being able to embrace the change within your actions and not fight the change, right? So if you've emotionally made up your mind that you were capable and you were confident, then that emotion should transit over to an action that you're taking, which is going to bring about transformation. Right? So embrace the change and remember that you can't force other people to do things you want them to do, because even if you do that and they do it, it's going to be short lived if it's not something that they truly want to do themselves. And everybody's not on the same level, and sometimes people, it may take some people 10 years to get just past one level of this, because they have to repeat a lesson repeatedly. And in all honesty, like, there's nothing wrong with that, because we do not have the right to tell people how fast they should go and grow on this journey. When you begin to study things at a higher level, you begin to understand that everybody really comes here for their own experience, right? And within that, some people that may even be older than you in the physical may not be older than you on the soul level. You may be eons older than them in the soul level. So just know that not everybody's operating from the same place mentally, emotionally, as well as physically. So remember that, okay? So embrace the change today in your actions. Know that you're going through transformation. Apply your emotions to your actions today, knowing that you are more than capable and knowing that you're going through transformation and you're going through a metamorphosis. You're going through a metamorphosis. Okay, so when we hop on over to the earth energy today, you got to look at being practical in the earth energy, but you also have to look at what's being manifested in your life, what's being produced in your life. Okay, and this energy is showing up as rock bottom. Now when this card shows up, this is just basically saying to you the only way up and out is to surrender. So if you've been trying to do everything on the physical, or you've been trying to be too logical in how you're applying your actions, or you've been tapping into making sacrifices when you should be making choices and decisions, right? The only way up and out is to surrender. And I talked about this before. The only way for you to get a breakthrough is for you to walk through. You got to go through it. You got to go through it. It's a process. It is clearly a process. So, on the practical realm today, you want to surrender, right? Surrender knowing that you're capable and competent and you can be self-reliant today. And you're going through transformation, embrace the change. Knowing that you can't make people do what they don't want to do. You know, if you take a look at the image on this card, it's just remember it's a reflection. As you see within, so you shall see without. So if you want the earthly realm or the physical realm or the practical realm to come into order, you got to tap into all of the other elements. Your feelings, water element. Your actions, fire element. Which now leads me into the air element. Got to tap into the air element too. And today the air element, which has to do with your thinking, is saying details. Pay attention to the details. Pay attention to the patterns in your life. Pay attention to your thinking around the patterns and the cycles in your life. Pay attention to it. What patterns are repeated in your life because you're not being self-reliant and tapping into your capabilities? And you're fighting change in your actions. Right? And then you're wondering why you feel stuck, or you're wondering why you feel overwhelmed, or you're wondering why you feel drained energetically, emotionally, mentally. Pay attention to the red flags. Pay attention to the self-manipulation or the self-sabotage. Pay attention to the manipulation of others. Pay attention to when you're not giving yourself credit when you should. That's important too, because we spend a lot of time looking outside of ourselves for validation, and we don't give ourselves credit for things that we should. Pay attention to the patterns today. That's in your thinking, especially. As a man, think it so it is. Your thinking is going to express to your feelings how you should feel. Your feelings is going to express to your actions how you should act. Your actions are going to express to the physical realm what you should manifest. Or it could be vice versa, because what you feel is really what's going to fuel your action. And what you're feeling could also represent what you're going to be thinking about. So whether you're thinking about something and infusing it with your feelings, or you're feeling something and infusing it with your thinking, that is going to produce your action, which is then going to produce your outer experience. So today, emotionally, one ring circus. Self-reliance is what you need to do today emotionally. Depend on your own feelings. Check your own emotions. And your actions, you need to know that you're going through transformation. This is a metamorphosis. You die and reborn all of the time. That sounds like Cancer's, not Scorpio's energy. That's, Scorpio energy, transformation. And Scorpio in Aries is ruled by Mars, right? Pluto is that transformative energy in Scorpio, which takes you through that metamorphosis process. Pay attention to your actions today. How are you choosing to respond to things today? Okay? Be responsible. Be responsible for your feelings. Be responsible for your actions. Be responsible for your thinking. I told y'all this year was going to be about mental and emotional chess, y'all. Sometimes you're going to have to tell yourself how to feel. Sometimes you're going to have to tell yourself how to think. That's real talk. Because sometimes your environment may dictate to you what you should feel, what you should think. Or the actions that you may have just taken in fear may dictate to you what you may feel or what you may think. Or your mistakes may dictate to you what you may feel or what you may think. Or your trauma may dictate to you what you should feel and what you should think. So if you don't get in there and do some work, You will be governed and triggered by shit that's not even in your present moment. You will be reliving your past and every experience. That's no fun. Even if your past is some beautiful things, there's more beautiful things in the world. Experience some more beautiful stuff. Why experience the same pain over and over again? No, I tell my tribe and my community and my clients all the time. I tell them this, right? When you can find who the common denominator is in a situation, you are way hell ahead of the game. Especially if you recognize that common denominator is you, and then you're able to take your power back and make some changes. You control. You have control. You can tap into that control that you have over what you think and what you feel. You don't have to just let your feelings and your thinking run wild. Okay? Remember growing up, they used to say, a mind is a terrible thing to waste, or something along those lines. I don't remember the saying, but somewhere around there. All right, so y'all know the deal. Don't be afraid of the dark. Out of darkness comes enlightenment. Okay, you need to master yourself. Stop trying to master and figure out other people's shit. Just listen, master you. Okay, yeah. So get in the dark. Don't be afraid of the dark. Out of darkness comes enlightenment. Okay, love yourself, honor yourself, do something kind for yourself. And I'm gonna see y'all in tomorrow's daily vibration, day 94, y'all. We got 6 more days left to go. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye, my loves.